It's the weekday whoop! Rant! Do you have people in your life who like to warn you about things? Sometimes it's fine when it's relevant and probable, and sometimes it's not. The other day we had a small earthquake in the ocean near where I live here in Vancouver, BC. I didn't feel a thing, but it happened, and there was a bit of worry afterwards because of course we know what can happen with earthquakes and the ocean. But nobody was hurt, there was not even any damage that I've heard of, it was pretty much a non-event. So move on and be grateful that nothing really happened, right? Well, not according to some people who apparently like to live their lives in fear and invite everyone around them to do the same. Here's a status update from a friend of mine on Facebook. To all my BC friends, don't want to foster paranoia or anything, but just pay attention. Most of the largest earthquakes in the world were preceded by smaller earthquakes. If there was ever a warning sign, maybe it's a good idea to vacate your high-rise condo/apartment for more solid ground. Right. So let me get this straight. You don't want to foster paranoia, but everybody should pretty much run for the hills because the end of the world's on its way. Am I getting the gist of this? Let's be realistic. Your advice is not realistic. You expect people to actually leave their homes and go find somewhere else to live until this earthquake comes along. There's just a few problems with this scenario. Number one, you somehow think it's no big deal to just pack up everything you own and move somewhere else. Leave your home, go find another, move all your crap, no big whoop. And then number two, we have no idea when this big earthquake is gonna happen. It might be in a month, in a year, in a decade, in a century, who knows? But basically, until that happens, you want the tens of thousands of people who live in high-rise buildings here to just vacate them, go find somewhere else to live. Where exactly should they go? There's not really room for them. There's a reason we have high-rise buildings so we can fit everyone in. It's just such a ridiculous notion to think that anybody would read that Facebook status update and change their lives that dramatically. Vancouver has one of the highest rated downtown areas in North America. It's an amazing place to live because there's a forest and beaches and of course the ocean and all kinds of things there. So to just be like, all right, I guess I better move out to the boonies in the middle of nowhere because there might be an earthquake at some point, is like saying I shouldn't live along a bus route because I might get hit by a bus. You need to just live your life, man. Because even if you live in a shatterproof glass house in a bubble, you could still die tomorrow from something. And what does he mean by more solid ground anyway? If there's a tsunami, I'd much rather be on the 30th floor of a high-rise than in a low-rise or a house. Those buildings are designed to be able to take the impact of an earthquake, and if there's a huge wave of water, it's the people lower to the ground who are gonna suffer the most. So please, forgive me if I don't take your advice to heart, and instead just point and laugh at you. And if I'm wrong and soon after this video goes up there's a huge earthquake and tsunami and everybody in the high rises is doomed but everybody who was on lower solid ground is safe, then I will take down this video and pretend it never went up. But until then, you look like the idiot. Hey YouTube, thank you to my friend on Facebook for giving me a topic for today's video. I of course don't really think he's an idiot, but when I saw that status update on Facebook, I just had to say something. And then he actually replied and said, well there you go, you've got a topic for your next rant. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Check out any of the videos that you might have missed over the past week over there, and come back tomorrow for a Q&A. We'll see you then. Toodles!